All right, 11.4. Here's your homework. I'm getting comments in total like I don't get this whole thing at all. Um, see, for area of a regular figure, a regular polygon, we need to fulfill the following formula. Okay, the area is 1/2 the apothem times the perimeter. That's for any regular figure. Remember, regular means all equal sides, all equal angles. So we need to figure out who A is and who P is. If you remember A, so say for instance you have a figure like this. Bam. Okay. The apothem is always going to be, he will be from the center to the wall. Okay? That will be a 90-degree angle. It's always from the center to the wall. Bam, 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 bam. Notice how each one, okay? That is the apothem. Okay? That is one fixed distance. And, let's see, erase this so I don't confuse you. Perimeter, you already know what perimeter is. So, perimeter is taking this side plus this side plus this side plus this side plus this side and add this side all together. All sides added together. That is your perimeter. Okay. So that means we need to find both the apothem and the perimeter. This one is a hard lesson. Okay. So take for instance number 1. Number 1, it gives you the apothem. It gives you a side. So this is not that difficult to figure out. This is a pentagon. This is 5 sides. So the perimeter is going to be 45. The apothem is 6.2. So figuring out the area of this regular figure is simple. It's just 1/2 times the apothem times the perimeter, which is 1/2 times 45 times 6.2. It doesn't matter which one goes first. So this gives you a precise answer of 139.5. Okay? Number 2 is exactly the same, so you don't have to worry about finding the side or the apothem. But you come into problems like number 3. It only gives you the apothem. Alright? You need to figure out a side. So this is where it gets hard. We know it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a 6-sided figure. So I need to know. I'm going to create a right triangle right there. Okay. So if I were to cut that triangle out, I know it's 15 right here. I would like to know, I need to figure out this piece right here so that I can figure out this whole piece. Okay? Which means I need this angle. I know that's 90. Well, if I'm going to figure out that angle, I need to know how many degrees are inside this figure using this formula. Well, we know there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this gives me 720 degrees. That's the entire thing. So, if I want to know this angle right here, this big one right here, I'm going to simply divide him by 6. That's how many there are. So if I do that, I know that that one little angle is 120 degrees. But I want to know this piece right here. That one. Well, that 120, because it's a regular figure all across, all I got to do is divide him by 2, and I know he is 60 degrees. So now I know that is 60 degrees. So let's move on to this blank area over here. I'm going to flip that triangle. Okay, that's my 90. This is 15. This is the piece I want to know. And I know this is 60. This is where I'm telling you, you will need to use SOHCAHTOA. So 15 is opposite, x is adjacent. So opposite adjacent, that means we're using TOA. So it's going to be tangent. 60 is equal to opposite over adjacent. These two swap. So x is equal to 15 divided by tangent 60. And that will give you 15 divided by will give you 8.66. So now I know what x equals. X equals 8.66. So we go to number 3. We know that this is equal to 8.66. This is half. That means that this is also 8.66, both together. That full side is 17.32. I know my apothem is equal to 15. My perimeter, well, I'm going to have to figure this out. This is 6 sides. Each equals 17.32. So 6 times 17.32 will be my perimeter. 103.92. I now have everything I need. Area is 1/2. The apothem, I already know, is 15. And the perimeter is 103.92. Multiply all 3 of those, and you get 779.4. That is your answer. So let's look at problem number 6. The apothem is not given to us. Okay? We do not know what the distance here from the center to the wall is. We don't know that. But in our instructions it says we're going to create a right triangle anyways. Okay? I know this distance right here is 5, which means if I cut it in half, 2.5 is that little piece right here. So if I draw my triangle like this, here's my right triangle, this will be 2.5. I need to find out what my apothem is. I can figure out my perimeter. I know the full distance of the side is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a pentagon, so it's 5 times 5. So I know my perimeter is 5. Now I have to figure out my apothem. I need to find out this little angle here, right there. So to do that, I'm going to have to find that big angle. This one. Okay? Again, we have to use this formula. N minus 2 times 180. It's 5 sides times 180. So it's 540. That's how many degrees are inside a pentagon. If I want to find out that yellow right there that I just highlighted, I'm going to have to divide by 5. So that gives me 108. And if I actually want to find out the little tiny one right there, then 108 has to be divided by 2. 54 degrees. Bam. So this angle right here is 54 degrees. SOHCAHTOA time. This is opposite. This is adjacent. So we're going to be using tangent again. Okay? So we're going to use tangent again. Tangent 54 degrees is equal opposite over adjacent. If I want to get rid of him, then I'm going to multiply times 2.5. What I do to one side, I got to do to the other. So x is going to actually be tangent 54 times 2.5. And your answer ends up being 3.44. This is your apothem. You now have everything to fill in. A equals 1/2 times the apothem, 3.44, times the perimeter, 25. You get your area of, oh wow, 43. Bam. We'll do one more. We'll do number 8. Here, you'll notice is they're not giving you the apothem, they're not giving you the side, they're only giving you the radius. Okay, I did explain what the radius is. It's from the center to any one of the corners. So we are going to have to find out this guy, the apothem. Alright, so we have a triangle like this. We're going to use SOHCAHTOA, don't worry. So we need to find out this guy. So to find him out, we already know this is 21. I need to know this angle. I need to know this little one. Which means I need to figure out this big one. Okay? Once I find that big one, I cut him in half. So, back to the drawing board. N minus 2 times 180. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's an octagon. So, if I plug this in, eight. 8 minus 2 times 180 will give you 1080. Then if I want to find out the yellow, okay, I'm going to divide by 2. So the big individual angle is 540. But I really want to know what this little one is. So to do that, I divide by 2 one more time. 270 degrees. Alright, my bad. See, I don't have you guys in front of you. It's not divided by 2. If I want to find the individual angle, I got to divide by the number of sides. And this gives me 135. The last one is divided by 2, yes. So the individual angle is 67.5. So that little bitty angle is 67.5. I now know that. So now we're going to use SOHCAHTOA to find the x. Alright, here we go. X is actually opposite. The 21 is the hypotenuse. So is what we will use. Sine of 67.5 is equal to the opposite over the hypotenuse times 21 to get rid of that, times 21, and we end up with x is equal to sine 67.5 times 21 sine 19.40. So what's happening here is we found the apothem. We found A equals 19.40. But what we need to also find is this piece right here. Or this piece. Alright? So this will erase this piece. And now we know that this is 19.40. But now this becomes our new x. So it's up to you what you want to use. We're still going to use this angle. We know that x here is adjacent to that angle. Let's go ahead and continue using the hypotenuse. So if it's AH, we're going to switch off from so to ka. So we end up being cosine 67.5 is equal to the adjacent over hypotenuse times 21 times 21, x is equal to cosine 67.5 times 21, and that gives me 8.04. So now we know this is 8.04. That means this little piece is 8.04. That means the whole piece is actually 16.08. So now to figure out the perimeter, we simply multiply 16.08 times 8. And we get 128.64. We have the perimeter, 128.64. We can now substitute here and here. So let's do that. So we have 1/2 times 19.40 times 128.64 64. Let's see what it gives us. Big number, 1,247.81. That is the area of that octagon. I'm hoping this helps. Some of you had questions. If you're still confused, I can do one-on-one on Google Hangouts video chat. All right, message me on private.